what you're doing right now, because what I'm about to tell you may completely change how you start your mornings from this day forward, and I don't say that lightly. I say it because if you are over the age of 60, there is a very high chance that the way you begin your day right now is quietly damaging your brain, your memory, and your ability to think clearly. And the most dangerous part is this: it feels normal. It feels harmless. It feels like something you've done your entire life. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up feeling slightly foggy, like your brain is not as sharp as it used to be? Have you ever struggled to remember a name or a word that used to come easily? Have you ever felt like your thinking is just a little slower, especially in the morning? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But here's where it gets serious. Most people believe that memory loss is just a normal part of aging, something you have to accept after 60. But what most people don't realize is that many of these changes are not caused by age alone. They are caused by daily habits that slowly weaken your brain over time. And today, I'm going to show you the #1 morning habit that is quietly damaging your brain and 5 powerful ways to fix it starting tomorrow morning. Not next week, not someday, tomorrow. Now, I want you to stay with me because what I'm about to reveal in just a few minutes is something that surprised even me when I first saw the research, and it is something almost every senior is doing within the first 10 minutes of waking up. Now, before we go further, I want you to think about this. Your brain is the most energy-demanding organ in your body. It uses more energy than any other system, and it depends heavily on blood flow, oxygen, and chemical balance to function properly. And when any of these are slightly off, your brain feels it immediately, even if you don't notice it consciously. And over time, these small disruptions accumulate and lead to real decline. So let's begin with the habit itself. The #1 morning mistake that is quietly damaging your brain is starting your day in a state of stress before your body is ready, and most people do this without even realizing it. The moment they wake up, they reach for their phone, they check messages, they read news, they scroll through social media, and within seconds, their brain is flooded with information, stress signals, and stimulation before it has even fully transitioned out of sleep. Now here's why this is a problem. During sleep, your brain enters a recovery mode, a state where it clears waste products, resets neural connections, and restores balance. And when you wake up, your brain needs a few minutes to transition slowly back into full activity. But when you immediately expose it to stress and stimulation, you interrupt this process and force your brain into a high alert state too quickly. This triggers a surge of cortisol, the primary stress hormone in your body. Now, cortisol is not bad. In fact, it is necessary for waking up. But when it spikes too quickly and too early, it creates a state of mental overload. Your blood pressure rises, your heart rate increases, and your brain shifts into reactive mode instead of focused mode. And over time, this repeated pattern can contribute to chronic stress, reduced memory performance, and even structural changes in the brain. Now here's where it becomes even more important for seniors. After the age of 60, your brain becomes more sensitive to stress hormones and less efficient at regulating them. This means that the same habit that might seem harmless at 40 can have a much stronger impact at 70. Now, let me explain something clearly, because this is where most people misunderstand the problem. The issue is not just the phone or the news. The issue is the timing of stimulation. Your brain needs a gradual transition from rest to activity, and when you skip that transition, you disrupt the balance your brain depends on. Now, I want to tell you about a man I worked with. He was 68 years old, retired, and he came to me complaining of constant brain fog, especially in the mornings. He told me he felt fine physically, but mentally he just wasn't as sharp as he used to be. When we looked at his routine, the first thing he did every morning was check his phone within seconds of waking up. Emails, news, notifications, messages, everything, all at once. We made one simple change: no phone for the first 30 minutes of the day. Within 2 weeks, he told me something interesting. He said his mornings felt calmer, his thinking felt clearer, and he no longer had that heavy fog feeling that had been bothering him for months. Now, this is not magic, this is biology. Your brain was finally getting the transition it needed. Now, here's what you should do instead, and this is where we move from problem to solution. When you wake up tomorrow morning, do not reach for your phone immediately. Instead, give your brain time to wake up naturally. Sit up slowly, take a few deep breaths, allow your body to adjust, and then do something simple that supports your brain, like drinking a glass of water, because during sleep, your body becomes slightly dehydrated, and dehydration, even at a mild level, can reduce cognitive performance and slow down brain function. After that, expose yourself to natural light, even if it is just standing near a window or stepping outside for a few minutes. Natural light helps regulate your circadian rhythm and signals your brain to wake up properly. This improves alertness, focus, and overall brain function. Now, let's go deeper, because this is just the beginning. The second mistake that compounds this problem is skipping movement in the morning. Many people wake up and remain sedentary for the first hour of their day, sitting, drinking coffee, or watching television. But your brain depends on blood flow, and movement is one of the most powerful ways to increase circulation to the brain. Even light movement like walking, stretching, or simple exercises can increase oxygen delivery and improve cognitive performance almost immediately. Now, here's something most people don't realize. Your brain does not store oxygen. It relies on a constant supply from your blood, and when circulation is slow, your brain function is reduced, and this is one of the reasons why some people feel mentally sluggish in the morning. Movement is like turning the lights on in your brain. It activates systems that were resting during sleep and prepares your mind for the day ahead. Now, the third mistake is relying on caffeine too early. Now, I know this might be difficult to hear because many people depend on caffeine to wake up. But here's the issue. When you drink caffeine immediately after waking up, you interfere with your body's natural cortisol rhythm. Your body already produces cortisol in the morning to help you wake up, and when you add caffeine too early, you create an artificial spike, followed by a crash later in the day. This can lead to energy instability, increased anxiety, and reduced focus. The better approach is to wait at least 60 to 90 minutes before consuming caffeine, allowing your body to complete its natural wake-up process first. Now, let's talk about something even deeper, and this is where many people start to understand what is really happening. Your brain health is not determined by one big decision. It is shaped by small daily habits repeated over time, and the way you start your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. It influences your focus, your mood, your energy, and even your long-term cognitive health. And here's the most important part. You are not stuck with the habits you have right now. You can change them starting tomorrow morning. You can give your brain the environment it needs to function properly and protect itself as you age. So here's my question for you. When you wake up tomorrow morning, will you repeat the same habits or will you give your brain a better start? Because that decision, even though it seems small, could shape your mental clarity, your memory, and your quality of life for years to come.